I just wanted to quickly pop in and tell you about what is going to happen and what I've been tweaking. As you know, I've started this Patreon account recently and I'm still trying to figure things out. So there's tweaking, there's adapting, there's, trial and error as I go along. So instead of the weekly tarot readings, I have decided to do one more elaborate one per month. And I will do that for every astrological sign, so that every sign has its own reading. And then you can choose, you can only listen to your sun sign, or you can also choose to listen to your moon sign and your rising sign, so you have a complete picture, but that's totally up to you. Of course, I'm not going to just drop this month the weekly reading. So I'll do the weekly reading now, but it's going to be for the next 2 weeks for the rest of October. So starting November, I'll start the monthly readings. Besides the new moon and the full moon readings, of course, they will stay. Now, I have added another level to my Patreon as well, and it's a card of the day, a simple card of the day with a little bit of questions to ask yourself with regards to that card that comes up, and then also to see how that card plays in your life, and a little bit of tips, a little bit of advice of how you can bring the card into your life, or what you may need to avoid if it's a bad card, of course. So that is new. What else? What else do I need to tell you? Well, the other thing is I am creating content for the toxic relationship cleanse. It's something I've been doing. I've been working with my clients one-on-one on this, but I want to share my knowledge, my wisdom, my insights of toxic relationships, which is also, of course, emotional, verbal, psychological, narcissistic abuse. It's about people who are in relationships with narcissists, with sociopaths, and that will be coming soon. So I will have a special tier for that, a special level with access for that content, so you can learn. And my idea is then to have also a monthly check-in, story sharing, something like that. I mean, I'm still figuring it out, as you can tell, obviously. But that's it from me for now, because I'm going to let you go so you can listen to the reading for the rest of the month of October. There's a new moon next week as well, or in this week, end of this week. So the reading will be up there as well. From November onwards, there will be the astrological sign readings for the whole month. Now, also, one last thing. For the moment, I will keep it public, so you can freely access the Patreon and all the posts, except for the daily tarot cards. Those are put already in the tier. But from December onwards, I'm going to not do that anymore. So then my Patreon will be for patrons only. I thank you beforehand for becoming a patron and for helping me create more content and helping you out. And as always, love you. Bye. Okay, so the cards have been shuffled, they have been cut, and we're ready to start putting them down. I have a new deck, so I'm going to use that as well. So I've done the cards a little bit different this time. So I've done it slightly different. Okay, so let's see this middle as you right now. What you need to know right now, because this is more the past and this is more what's going to become in, you know, towards the end of the month, sort of energy like. So let's have a look first here. This is you and your environment really. So there is this vibe of, well, home. This is the Four of Wands. Usually it's a card of celebration. I think here it is a card of also celebration. This is sort of like a fire, a bonfire, but it's protected by these four wands. And there is this garland of flowers, and there is a home. So it's a very homey card. So it has this vibe of, you know, protection, of groundedness, of safety. Okay, so this feels like the homey card, and but also the card of, there is a harvest going on. There is something celebratory, but also something like fertile, very fertile, with the fire and the plants. Now, why am I saying harvest here? Because there's something here you've done, something you've created, which has led to something that was fruitful, something that made results, that gave results. So results, results. This is you now in your environment. So the environment is like fertile for you, and something you've done has created results. Now, before all that, it feels like something has had, I should say, shaken you. This is the Tower card. I don't know if you can see it. So this Tower card it's from the Seer's Tarot. It's a new tarot deck I got. Unfortunately, I don't know why I got the small version. So the imagery is not as clear, so I try to bring it in to focus. So the Tower, it's like the ground was shaken. So something shook you, something sort of rattled you. And I think because of the Knight of Cups here at the side, it was something emotional. And it could be with somebody else, it could be about somebody else, but because it can also be your emotions that were rattled. And that sort of shook you up, and it sort of felt like, oh, what the hell is going on here? But in a way, this has been gone, and you have dealt with it. You have dealt with it with this card and this card. So it's like it feels under control. And I should say that this is for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, which I forgot, but you've seen that. Anyway, so it feels like this, whatever happened, it could be in a relationship. Probably this, and you know, you're also in a relationship with yourself. So something emotional happened and it shook you. And although you're here, there is still some leftovers, you know, from this here, from this shake-up and this emotional rattlement, or how do you say it? This emotional uncertainty almost, and like feeling really down. This Nine of Swords here is, for me, it's the remnants of this. There is still some negativity there. There is still some, you know, backlash, some thoughts about it, some thoughts that haunting you. Here, the crows or the ravens, whatever they are, they're the thoughts. So all the thoughts you're having, and you can see it's still upsetting you when you think back about this. But on the other hand, what is happening as well is the result, you know, where we're going here is towards a place of joy again, towards a place of success. Because let's face it, this is the Sun card. Look at that sun, that brilliant sun, the woman dancing beneath the sun. There's nothing else to say but that this is a very joyous card. It's like a success card. It's like a power card. Everything's going well. Everything's going great. But that doesn't mean that you haven't got these thoughts, of course, because you can be successful. You can be, yes, we've done that. I've done these rewards. I've got these results here. I've etc. etc. But still, you know, in the back of your mind, this can be still there. The negative thoughts, a little bit of worry, you know, the what if card. What if this happens again? You know, it's still there. It's not processed. And whatever that is, it needs to be processed and it needs time to be processed. So take your time with the processing because, you know, if we need to process our negative emotions, I'm not a believer in, you know, let's do some positive mantras, let's say some positive things, let's shove away the negative thoughts and replace them with positive ones because the negative ones will come back. They will come back, they will annoy you, they will be there in the back of your mind, and so deal with them. Think them whenever they come, and then say, okay, I've done that, I've thought about it, what I've seen now, it's not true, because here is the sun, and whenever this comes back, think of the sun, but also say, okay, you know, it's true, it can happen again, but for the moment, you know, it's just a thought and nothing more than that. But the thoughts and the emotions need to be dealt with. So let's see what other cards we're going to draw on top of these, and I'll draw a few on here as well. So, what is coming out? So although I've shuffled these, I always shuffle while I'm drawing extra cards, so they jumped sort of. Okay. Oh, Knight of Wands again. Not again. Knight of Wands, Knight, Knight, and here was the Two of. Okay. Okay, this one wanted to jump. If they want out, they want. Oh, another one. King of Swords, Queen of Wands. Okay, let's have a look. Two of Coins. King of Cups. Lots of court cards here. Lots of courts. It feels like there's people involved. And also because of the Three of Pentacles, there's people involved here. But here, look at this card on top of the sun. And this card. Wow. Okay. And just let's pull from the After Tarot deck a few more here. Why is this Knight of Swords? Okay. Wow, what is it with all these kings and these knights and these queens and another sun? Okay, so it's sort of, you know, a double confirmation of that sun there. Let's start here. So the Tower, you were shaking, you were rattled, and I read it together with this one, that it was an emotional thing, that there was something happening in a relationship or with somebody. And I'm saying now relationships because of all the people here. Look, there's a Knight of Wands, there's a Queen of Wands, King of Swords. We have here a King of Cups, a King of Wands, and the Empress is not a court card, but I think the Empress is you. Anyway, so Knight, Knight. Here, this is an emotional Knight. This is more of an aggressive, more aggressive Knight. Not really aggressive. It's a creative, passionate Knight. But on top of the Tower, yeah, it feels like somebody has rattled you. It wasn't, and it was something that you thought was okay. The Two of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So it feels like you were rattled in your emotions about something you thought was going well. Something you were looking at and saying, okay, look, I've done this, I've conquered this, and then all of a sudden here, the Tower is coming in, and this person there who was quite fiery energy, passionate energy, but this person has really rattled you. And this person, you know, at first it felt like a lot of passion. But now, look, this person is like the cold king. The king, the very rational, cold, cool, and collected king. A little bit of, you know what, nobody can harm me. And it feels like, you know, as I said, this was about relationships. It could be your emotions, but it's also the relationship with yourself. But with all the court cards, it really feels like somebody else was doing the rattling. And yeah, you're this Queen of Wands, this queen that is, look at Sunflower. That queen is shining bright. Was a person is a queen that attracts people to her. Is a very intuitive queen, but this is a cold king, so it feels like it's this relationship. And look at the king; he's looking just straight ahead, and this queen is looking at the king. Yeah, because this was the first card. So she's looking up at the king, and you know, as if, you know, if I was doing toxic relationship coaching and I would draw these cards in a session, for example, I would say, look, you are the person. This is the narcissist. So it feels like a little bit like this king was manipulative, and here as well there is a bit of manipulation, emotional manipulation going on, and you didn't see it. You were like enthralled by this king and looking up at this king, and that's why, you know, this card has shaken you up. But then again, here you have, and you see now why here the Knight of Swords is that still that hurt. This card here, the Nine of Swords, these negative thoughts, these negative feelings, this hurt, this pain, it's here because, let's face it, this knight and this king, the same person, have hurt you. You know, you were like hurt. And these cards here are saying you're doing all right. It's not like you're not doing all right. You have, it feels like it's these cards, you overcome these things and that you're celebrating, so that this success or this takeaway, and this here is like almost burning this part here, the bad part, and burning this card. And you know, you've learned these lessons away from this, and that's a success. It's a success if you've done that, but that doesn't mean that you didn't get hurt. And it doesn't mean that for a moment there you felt like this fool hanging from this rock, not sure if you were going to fall or you're going to climb up again. So it feels also like here you're in this new cycle. Yeah, and you could have fallen, but you haven't because of these cards here. So these cards here, the Nine of Swords is still that hurt, and here is the choices you had. So at a certain moment you chose, and I think this person, this King of Cups, is you. Whether you're female or male, I don't care. I mean, gender is nothing to do, has nothing to do with these cards. But you are the King of Cups. You are like, you came on top of your emotions. You sort of dealt with your emotions, and you sort of led with them. You saw through the whole thing. You sorry, this fool was up here. So you started this new cycle. So you didn't fall because you became this king, and that was because of a choice you made, because of things you were pondering. And I think you pondered values. You said, okay, this is really not me. This person is not me. This person doesn't have the same values as me, and so you chose your values, and that means that you can be on top of your emotions, and you have been. And why? Because look at these cards here. So you have the Sun, you have the Ten of Cups, and you have the Empress. Now the Empress, the most fertile card really in the deck. She's a fertile woman. She is very intuitive, but she's also very abundant. There's this richness, this emotional richness as well. There is the garden here, the harvesting, like here, this harvest here. and this card, it connects. And the Ten of Cups is a happy card. It's like a family card, but I don't see it at the moment. I see you overcoming stuff, emotional stuff. And sometimes this, instead of a person, can be a toxic situation. It can be a toxic situation that rattled you, but you've overcome it, and you sort of handled, yeah, you handled the emotions, not sort of, you handled them, but there's still this going on, because of course hurt's not going to go away just like that. Now I'm going to look at this sun. I don't have to tell you, this sun and this sun, it's the same sun in a different card, and look how different, but it's together with all these cards, so that's all good. Don't need to tell more about this. King of Wands. I feel like this is you as well, overcoming this either toxic situation or toxic person. It's the same as the King of Cups, and you've done that by being creative with with your shake-up, because you have choices. The choices here, the duality here, the choices is to either stay stuck in it and not be these kings, or to overcome it and become these kings. So that's more or less what I see here. And let me see if there is another message coming out here for you for the rest of this month. As you know, I'm going to do these readings now once a month, but for every... Okay, I don't know what this means. Talk shop. Okay. It feels like you're steady. It feels like you're ready to talk about what's happened here. Look, two people talking about emotions. There's a heart here, there's flowers here. Now, talk shop, it can be about your business, yeah, but, and yes, it could be that. Because if the situation was something about, in a work situation, or if you're your own, if you have your own business, this could be also something. So I feel like you're talking about what happened to you, and the talking will help you with the sun, with realizing the sun, and with getting to this part, getting to the sun part, because it will deal with this Nine of Swords. When you talk about stuff, you don't keep it in. And this can be talking to a therapist even, or friends, family, but just, letting it go, just telling the story, and then, getting it off your chest. That will help with this, becoming this king, with dealing with the emotions, with, with healing. And if you've healed, you're there. So that is it for you, Fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then next month, you all get your very own personal reading for the month of November. Okay, so now Earth for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Let's see what happens here first. The Three of Cups, Temperance, the Devil, Ace of Cups, the Lady, which is the Empress card, and the World. Now those middle cards, you and your environment, they are really good. Look at the Empress card, fertile. There's the garden, she's even pregnant. There's animals by her side, there is flowers, dry flowers, there's fruit, there's the water from the intuition, but also, water gives life. And this is the World card. It seems like you have started a new cycle of abundance, but also like you've stepped through a door, a true door towards abundance. That's what it feels like here. Yeah. Just let's have a look here, where you're coming from. So you're coming from, actually, I don't even think this is the past. I think this is all connected. This is like the Three of Cups has a celebratory feel to it, but in this Sightseers Tarot, it's like it's almost like it's a coven or like a ritual being done for the moon, women dancing. You know, that's that has the feel to it. It has this magical feel to it, and there is this um, togetherness here, and it feels like this what you've created here, this sort of thing that you have created, that it can be a magical thing, has come to lead you to do something else, something new, to begin something new. And you have been experimenting with that for a while, the Temperance card, which is also an angel here. But what you've been doing here, the making, the creating, and which has led to this, it's almost like it's protected by the angel, and it has, you know, it's, we see here a sun and we see here the earth, and there is this connection here between sun and earth. It feels like creating. It feels like also the gold of the sun. Gold is a very special substance in alchemy, and it's like you've done that. You have done this, the magic background work. And I don't mean necessarily magic in the real sense of magic, that hocus pocus magic. No, something that you've been really, how do I say this? Creating in your mind, in your heart, and all of it is coming together. It's coming together here, and it's leading to this. What I will say is that, of course, this has created some fear. But I find this devil so different from the devil. Look, the devil here has this puppet, almost like you can be the puppet of the devil. You can be, you know, the victim, or the, not really the victim, but you can be attached to your fears, or you can go away and not listen to the devil. You know, the devil, like the little devil sitting on your shoulder, blah, 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 in your ear. No, I feel this devil also is like saying, look, you can do this. This devil is kinder, nicer than the tarot, the Rider Waite tarot deck devil, which is the horned one. Yeah, this one doesn't really have horns. He has hair with stars in it, and he has the pentagram here. But you can let him lead you, or you can take control over your inner fear, your inner devil. And I feel that all this will lead to something beautiful new, something that you really poured your heart and soul in. And you're standing here on the verge of something new, whether that is something that is a new relationship, or whether it's something that you want to create, a creative enterprise, a new job, a career, but also maybe your own business. You're pouring your heart and soul in it because it comes from creating here, from this magic, from this temperance card, from this alchemy. Um, and that's what I feel here. So let's see what happens when we draw a few more cards. Okay. So there was help, but there was also something that has connected it to your childhood, as it were. It's a very good card. So lots of majors, yeah? Major card, major card, major. Major, the Temperance card. This is a major card. This means a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major cards for now. Oh, this one, okay. Okay, that one on the devil. The worries, yeah, stress. Sometimes also shiny objects, I call this card sometimes. Okay, that's what wants to come out. Okay, the heart and soul card is like sort of fortified. You have the Ace of Cups and then the Two of Cups, so there's progression. Let's pull two more here. Okay. Another Nine of Swords. Different one now, but, well, star. Okay. Just two more cards from the Druid Celtic Tarot. If I'm not mistaken, let me have a look. The Druidcraft. Oh, okay, you want to. Justice wanted to jump, or jumped. Whoa, okay. So two cards jumped here, which is the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Okay. I'm taking them both because they just fell out on the floor. Okay, let's have a look first here. I'll put this a bit up so you can see better. Okay, so the Three of Cups, and together with the Temperance card, because they were working together very strongly. So I'm going to read them together. So it feels like the thing you're doing, the thing you're creating, that you're now magically manifesting, is something that connects you to the past. Somebody has helped you, yes, but it's more like, it feels like the childhood card here, like something from your childhood that you loved doing and that you're now doing again, and that you're pouring all your heart and soul in, that you're alchemically manifesting or altering, as it were, to fit the new you, the adult version of you. But it feels like it's a business thing. It feels like it's something that is a creative endeavor, like a business that you're starting, or a new, maybe you're even learning to then have a new business. That's possible as well. But it's something, you know, it's leadership here. You can do this. You have the willpower to do this. You also have the strength, and you want to do this. This is fully there. So this is, in this card, Aries. Aries is now, Mars is retrograde in Aries, but let's not go too far in that. This card is really the feel of, you know, leadership. I can do this. I can lead myself into this, and yeah, it's a very powerful card. So yes, all these very powerful, because look at here. We have the High Priestess, which is a very intuitive card. You know, she is not cold or calculated as the Emperor can be. And we also have, next to her, we have the Empress card. So the High Priestess is very intuitive. So it's you knowing that whatever you're doing here, whatever you're creating magically, you're listening to the intuition. Your intuition is guiding you to do the stuff you're doing, to create the new business, if it's a business, or the new stuff you're doing. Yes, that you'll be guided by the High Priestess, and you were taken behind the curtain to know how to do that. But it was not a quick thing. I feel that you have taken your time. You have, not only have you taken your time to do, and to have the elements that needed to come together, you've also sort of been guided by being still, by going inside, just here, you know, that intuition, listening to your intuition, but also taking it slow so that all the elements sort of could grow, here, grow, the pregnant lady. Yeah, growing something, a baby, but also having doing a business, or you know, starting something new. It has to grow inside of you, isn't it? So let's have a look here, because we have this repeated here. So the devil was the fears, and I think this card just says it as well. You know, there were some times of stress. There were times that you were worried, or this is not going to work out, And then there was times when you were distracted, whereby shiny new objects, as I call it, other things distracted you. And this could have been things that you really needed to do, but also things that, sort of distracted you because of your fears, because of you not trusting yourself. And in a way, because you're here now and you're here, that means that you have slayed that dragon. You have taken on those fears and you've said, no, I'm not going to let myself distract myself again. I'm not going to be feared. I'm not going to let that devil rule me, because you slaying the dragon here. Very easy. And this, because the star, this is the wishes fulfilled card. And it also is the opportunities card. Success, opportunities, new ways opening up to you because of all you've been doing, and because of you slaying the dragon as well. So yeah, something new here, and it's fully with your heart, fully in it. That's beautiful when you can do something with your heart, fully. The star says that as well. And then we have the 8 of coins. So as it sort of reflects to here, to calmly getting the things done that you needed to be done. And probably there's still more things that need to be done. When you start here, the ace is the beginning, so that you need to work on the stuff. It's not like, okay, this is all completely finished now. No, you continue to work on what you started here. You continue to work on it. And this is a progress, yeah, from the Ace of Cups to the Two of Cups. So you're progressing, you're making headway, you're creating progress in your business, in whatever that it is that you're doing. There's more things to come. I find this more progress, and I will read this as, something coming together, or contracts or whatever, or agreements. It's more like a natural progression. You have to start, you work, and you have to because there's things you will need to figure out still, and then you slowly progress. And here we have another ace of wands, new creative beginning, connected with the Ace of Cups, in my opinion. Taking the leap of faith, jumping the abyss, put it a bit higher. And I feel that the Seven of Swords, the thinking and the obstacles, is connected to the worry here, connected to this Nine of Swords, and connected to this devil. Like, yeah, there was some worry there. There were some things to figure out. But it feels also that you've created balance, and the things that you're doing has created a sort of sense of fulfillment within you. Anyway, justice. So it has been a balancing act as well. Not only does this create balance within you, but this here, doing this stuff, the preparatory work, the magic stuff, the bringing it together, the alchemy part, was a balancing act. So it's bringing several elements together and making them work together. So let's see what sort of card as a message is coming out as well for you. Okay. Oh, pray. Okay, pray. So why do I feel like this is like asking more than praying in a literal sense? It's like asking, for guidance, asking for help, asking for insights here and here. I feel that this is something that you need to continue doing as well, because of the next steps you need to make. So it's like asking for insights, and asking, if you're not a religious person, then it's asking your guidance, your inner intuition, to help you guide your way, and to go inside and sort of meditate on it. I feel that is the card here. So to do the next steps, always go inside. You can ask yourself, your wise inner self, Or if you are a religious person and you believe in a higher being or in the universe, ask the universe to help you. Ask God to help you. Ask Buddha, Sri Ganesh, whoever, Allah, to help you. You can do that. Okay, that was it for Earth, for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now these are the cards for air. So we have the Three of Wands, Queen of Wands, oh, Page of Pentacles, the Hangman, the High Priestess, and the Two of Cups. So let's start in the middle. Let's start with you. So it feels like you're the High Priestess here, you. And this is sort of the environment card. Look at the happy card here. This is the card of a relationship going well, of a union going well, of a partnership going well. The people are embracing each other, and it is through your feelings, your intuition, your higher guidance. But what is it about? So we have the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a really creative queen. Look at the queen. She's holding almost the sun in her hand, or the fire, the passion in her hand. Look how happy she is. Look how how comfortable she is. She's holding that wand up and she's laughing, and she's sitting there, you know, with all these candles surrounded, sort of protected, magically protected, but also just creatively protected. And then you have the Three of Wands, where this person is looking out over the sea, looking what is coming next, but being very at ease with it. Together, these cards feel like, yes, you know, whatever you're doing, whatever you're creating, whatever this you're doing as being the queen, you're creating something new. And this can be a new relationship, because this can be also a very sensual card, a very, yeah, something, a relationship that's happening. And why do I feel like this? Because of this card, clearly, you know, beautiful card. It's happy. It's almost all happy cards. Maybe the Hangman is not such a happy card, but in the Sightseers, I see it as a happy card as well. It feels like this relationship is something that you've been waiting for, and now it has come. And you've waited for it patiently. And there will come some more, you know, some more revelations, as it were, regarding this new relationship, regarding this new, and a relationship. Sometimes this is, of course, it can be a relationship with a partner, with a lover, with a new person in your life, but it can also be the relationship with yourself. Like you're accepting yourself, self-acceptance. This card, self-acceptance, and self-acceptance through listening to your intuition, listening to that inner part of you that is connected to your emotions, that is connected to whatever you can't see, and it's trusting that. And this queen is also trusting that. This queen knows she has the fire, she has the passion to create whatever she wants to create, whether that's relationship with herself. And I think it's the relationship with yourself. It feels like there's something that you saw in yourself that you haven't seen before. And it's the Page of Pentacles as well. This page is standing still, but on one foot. And, you know, could be boy, could be girl, doesn't matter. This Page of Pentacles is holding a new value. You have discovered, it's like you've discovered your true self. That's what it feels like. I can't get my head around something else here. That's what it feels like. It's also beautiful. and you've embraced your true self. You've come to the conclusion that yes, this is who I am, and this is who I'm going to be from now on, and this is who I'm going to trust to be from now on, that it's true, because I've listened to my inner guidance. And here I have these happy cards. Yes, let's see what happens with the other cards to see whether we can, I mean, I don't want to even say more or take more cards out because it's so beautiful. So let's see what happens. King of Wands and Queen of Wands. Okay, so you're that. Oh, another Three of Wands jumped out just like that. So these cards are sort of complementing each other because they're the same, almost the same cards. This is a queen, this is a king. But can't say much about that, is it? Hanged Man again. Queen of Swords. Justice. Okay. And then another two here. Beautiful. Look, these are two major ones. Okay. I think this moon is this moon. It's that emotional connection with your inner self. Ruled by emotions. Okay. Another moon. And the world. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So I'll pull these up. I don't know why I start so low, but anyway. Okay, so I don't think I have to say a little bit more of this because this is clearly this card repeated. So it's something you've waited for and you've seen coming in and you wanted to change that. So the King of Wands as well, the master in the creativity, but already completed. While the Queen is still creating, the King is sort of has created. The Hanged Man, repeated from here. Insights, a beautiful insights in yourself. So the Three of Wands, repeat of this card. Things you've been looking back on in the past, and all these realizations, all these ones, all these ships, realizations, but realizations about yourself. So these realizations have, have created this Queen of Wands that says, look, I can create now, or I can be who I really am. And maybe there was a little bit of a rationalizing part as well, because all this is very intuitive. There's loads of intuitive cards. This card, this card, I mean, this card. But at a certain point, there was also a rationalizing of what was hidden inside of all these emotions, all these intuitions you had. You said, okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready to take it, not only my heart, but also get my mind wrapped around it. That's how it feels like. And of course, I can be wrong. You can say something else about this card. I don't, everybody has their own interpretations, but we're always seeing cards together. Now, the Justice card here on the Page of Pentacles, so something new value. And this new value has brought really more justice, more fairness in your life. And fairness when when you see what is true for you and what you think is good for also for other people, you do this in a fair way, then you are more balanced. And then this Knight of Cups is sort of like that inner balance with you that you're creating more and more of, because the Knight of Cups is more progressive already. And yeah, there is, you're connecting to these emotions as well. And it means transition. It means leaving behind old stuff, old values, old thoughts, old ways of being. But that means that you start something new. So look at this relationship with yourself. That's this again, connecting to yourself. I feel it very much like that, that you are in a new relationship with yourself. And you've done that through, you know, through inner hard work. I mean, not by forcing yourself to do so. So it feels like these changes have come. They have been a long time coming, but you've been embracing them. You've been embracing the change in you, but the change and the fears that that brings with it. There's a bit of fear and a bit of, you know, uncertainty in the moon card, but here, because of the high priestess, I feel it's really, again, your emotional life amplified. And it's here again in this moon. You know, first that can be a little bit disconcerting when you trust your intuition, when you start trusting your intuition, when you start listening to those emotions, when you start listening to, you know, really, this is what I value. It doesn't mean that other people necessarily have to value it, but this is what I value. And that can bring a little bit of uncertainty in yourself. It can also project, you know, to other people. So they are uncertain of who you are now all of a sudden. But you are who you are, but that you are now this person highly connected to her or his intuition and her or his moon. Moon in astrology is how you do things, you know, how you react to things, how your emotional reactions are to things. And now you are sort of getting that, you know, you becoming in charge of that, because you're not totally in charge of that, but you're becoming in charge of that. It's creating this new you, and it's creating this sort of, yeah, this new cycle, this new portal, this new way of being, which will create a new you in the whole world. In your world, you are a new you. New, look at the sun rising here behind this woman in the world. Yeah. So these are very beautiful cards. I hope you enjoy your new you. Let's see if there's still a message here and what that message might be. Okay. Sleep on it. Okay. So that new you, it's not something that has come, as I said, immediately or easily. The Hanged Man. It took some time to develop, which is normal. It's only emerging now. It's coming out now. It's sort of forming itself now. But you have embraced it within you, and you have done the hard work for it. And it's also sleep on it. I feel like it's, you know, it's more for other people than for you. It's more for other people, you know, let them sleep on it so that they can start to get, you know, used to that new you, because hey, you have changed a lot, and that means other people might not be as happy or as comfortable with it, so they need to sleep on it. I think it's more that, it's more something for the people around you, in your environment, you know, people around you, your inner circle, and let them sleep on it. And when they say something about it, don't be offended, don't take it personally, and say, you know what, doesn't matter, just, you know, you'll get used to this. That's what it feels like. Okay, that's it for air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And so last but not least, water. So for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These are the cards. Death and rebirth. I really like in the Seer's tarot that death is not only death, but it's called death and rebirth. Oh my God, you have almost all, these are all majors. So the Emperor, the Moon, Queen of Cups, and then you have still, so you only have one, and that's the Queen, and that's even a court card. So the Chariot and the Sun. Wow. I mean, we had good cards for air, but these are like, oh. Okay, let's start with death and rebirth. So there has been a big, big change in you. Died, and you've been reborn. There is this new you emerging, and we can see that here in this new you is very well in charge of her emotions. Look at this Queen of Cups sitting in the water, in the intuitive world, but also in the world of the emotions. Water stands for emotions, cups stands for emotions. Cups is the element of water, very emotional. These are all very, water cards. This one as well, the moon. This person here is submerged. So it feels like the death and rebirth and this moon are very connected. It feels like there was this, oh, yeah, you had to be submerged in the water, in the emotions, in the intuition, and be very uncertain of yourself. Because, of course, when you have a change, there is this part of you that is not certain, the moon part. It's not certain because you don't know what's going to happen. Change often leaves us with whatever is next, I don't know. But there is this trust. You have the Emperor here. The Emperor is very sure of himself. So there was the submersion, there is the submersion still. It's still going on, partly because here of the Queen of Cups. But you were certain that this change had to happen, that you had to try something new. And when you're certain of that, then this is not so bad. This moon, this uncertainty is not as bad. And now, this is you now and your environment now. This change that you've done has made you in charge. You are in charge of your chariot, of your life, really, of the choices you make. You are the one who's guiding this. It's not like the horses are, running away with you and galloping off into the wild. No, you have them under control. You have the choices you make for your life under control. And look at this. It's a playful card. This sun is a different image than the normal Rider-Waite, because look at this. Here we have two children, so it's very playful. They're playing. They're like, this one is laughing. This one is also laughing. They're sort of being naughty with each other, but it's joyful. It feels like, yes, when you're in control, this can bring you a lot of joy. It can bring you a lot of happiness. It can move you and propel you forward. The chariot, it moves. Chariot is a moving thing. So there is a lot of change going on, but change has moved you in this newer and more playful direction, it feels. And you've really done this very intentionally, as it were. It comes from the inner soul, and it comes from submerging in your emotions, in whatever it is that happened to you. But it's something that you really wanted, and it makes you completely. So you have the submersion and immersing, and then you have the emerging, coming out as this queen that knows what she wants, that is very in touch with her inner side, with that heart of hers, with that intuition of hers, with those emotions she holds. But she's also that queen that becomes very powerful, that drives the chariot. So let's see what other cards coming out. Yeah. Death and rebirth, full new cycle. Yeah, and you could do it. You can do this. It was very conscious. I mean, there is this knowledge that you have, and this tending to stuff that makes the change possible. Okay, a new dawn. You know, change always comes sometimes after a loss, and then there's a new dawn. Look at this King of Pentacles. Well, Nine of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Yeah, the celebration. Of course, the celebration. King of Wands. Didn't we have a King of Wands? Or am I? No, King of Pentacles, sorry. Well, two kings. Okay, that's interesting. Well, it's not that strange, of course, that it comes out. The High Priest, which is the Hierophant, and the Two of Wands. Okay. So let's go here first. Death and rebirth. Death and rebirth, when you do that, you start a new cycle. New cycle comes with its own challenges, with its own risks. It takes a leap of faith to make changes. It takes courage to make changes. It takes trust to make changes. All this in the full. Changes start a new cycle. This is sort of reinforcing the fact that you are doing well in these changes. Also, for me, it's very connected to this Emperor. So this very conscious, but you knew that you could do it. It feels like even though there was this uncertainty here and this immersion in the emotions and the intuition, even there was a bit of moon energy there, this magician says, you have the skills, you have the talents, you have the qualities, you have the strength to do it. You can do this. So yes, these two cards very connected. And it was you looking at things you have done in the past, you know, sort of you prepped for the change. And then you planted seeds and then you saw them grow. But you had to let go of stuff. You had There were some things that made you change, things that maybe hurt you, maybe things you lost, maybe things you thought, I have to get rid of those, or of that, of people, relationships, or it can be also material stuff, it can be other situations. Had to get rid of that, because then the new dawn, when you do the change and the new cycle begins, it's a new dawn, it's a new sunrise. First here. Oh, let me go to the High Priest, because the High Priest for me is also connected to that Emperor and the Magician here. Because the High Priest is sort of saying that, for me, this card is about protection. The things you've been doing here, the things you've been leaving behind, and the new things you've been doing, the skill set, and the change and the rebirth, and all these things that you've been doing to make the changes were like protected. And they created a new foundation for your life. It's like saying, hey, here's me, I'm new. And so, because we're told about the emerging, yeah? So here, it's all protected. Okay, can't mess this up. Christel, don't mess it up. So the moon has the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. As pentacles can be material stuff, but for me in this reading, it's about values. The immersion in the intuition, in the emotions, brought you values. And you're saying, hey, this is what is important for me. This is what is important for me. Look at the garden. It's a beautiful garden. You have created this, with these changes, you have created this new beautiful garden for yourself. And it also says, I feel this Page of Swords is connected very much to these swords here. Like, cut it out, cut these things out, cut them away, because then they make place for something new, something really new. But it's going to be a celebration. It's going to be, a celebration of the changes. It's going to bring new people into your life as well, and it's going to be very good. With the Two of Wands, the Two of Wands is, you know, you're looking out over the world. Now here, this Two of Wands is feels more passive. It's like, yeah, I'll trust, you know, whatever I'm doing, and it's going to be okay. Because you have here, as I said already, the Chariot, which is a moving. So you're moving in this new direction with the changes you made, with these new values, with maybe new people in your life, but, you know, cause for celebration and cutting out the old stuff. And this brings you into a more playful way of being. And when you play, you can be creative. You become more creative. You can create new stuff in your world. You can manifest because you're playing. You're not, you know, you're moving on. You're taking control of your life, but you're doing it in a playful way. And children at play, they create, they make beautiful stuff. If you see children play and they play at make pretend, the most beautiful things can happen. And that's, it's not, I'm not saying you're doing make pretend here, but you're in a more playful way because you're not pretending. You're the king of wands, who can manifest new stuff in his life and who is also in charge of that manifesting. It's like, okay, I can do this. It's sort of reinforcing the Chariot, the control. Um, Now this Two of Swords here is a little bit weird because, well, for me, it's connected to this swords and these. So these are all interlinked. Leaving behind these swords, this stuff, cutting them out. This means, yeah, there's two ways to go, yeah? There's things you will need to decide. What am I going to let go of? What am I going to keep? And you've done that by connecting to your inner being, because you didn't look. It's not like you looked ahead and you saw those choices in front of you, because you didn't really know what it was you needed to choose and what choices you would need to make. But in the end, that all worked out. Here we also have a two. So a two often indicates, you know, duality, choices, either this or that. But this two is more like, okay, yes, good. And this is more like, okay, here, connected to these swords, some things that still need to be worked out. Also because of, you know, you're going on this new path, this new direction, and then you don't know where you're going. Sometimes even though you're in control, you don't know what is on the other end of the road, or behind the mountain, or at the end of the stream. You don't know that. And you're going about it playfully and manifesting. And you're willing to just surrender to whatever choice that is coming your way. You will make it when it's there, when the time comes. And that is that trust and patience and surrender. Now see what sort of extra message there is here. Wow. Okay, cloak yourself in light. That is a message. I don't think it needs a lot of explanation. I feel that this also is here with the light here, the new dawn, with the, the, the swords here and with these swords. So that when you're changing, you may encounter some negativity, but that doesn't matter. It feels like you're protected here, the High Priest. There's a lot of protection, and you can do it. You have this magician here as well. So when you sort of self-protect, you protect yourself against energy that comes from other people that don't like your change, then cloak yourself in the light, the protective light. And that's what I feel it means. So that's it, water, for Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Hope you enjoyed it. In November, every astrological sign will have his or her own proper full reading. I'll see you then. And next week there will be the new moon in Libra, and there will be a reading for that coming up next week. Bye for now.